Continue to do those things that you know that work for you after you have evaluated yourself in the situation. This is my day, and nothing out here is going to stop me. And you have the power to do that. You can decide that you're going to change.
Unbelievable start to this fight.
Able to a good job.
Vicious right hand. And the referee has already stopped the fight. Mamma mia! Matisse. Oh, and fires off the right hand. Andrade goes down. Mora has stopped the fight. Lucas Matisse has won. He knocks him down in the flat with a beautiful right uppercut. Wow!
I'm in control here. I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to let this destroy me. I'm coming back.
We all know Fury, you just a phony, man. This is just for act. You know where I am, you know what time, you know what place. I ain't scared of nobody. I'll come in your backyard, baby, for that's my man.
Listen, anytime, any place, anywhere, I'll fight you in your backyard. And like a dumb Klitschko, I'll beat you, you bum. You're a bum.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another edition of Jeremy Sports Network. Today is Pound for Pound. Who is your number one pound for pound fighter right now, today? We got a top 10 list. Now, this list was put together. I did this list, including everything that has took place right now in the sport of boxing. Up to this date, to our last fight on what we had from Lomachenko taking on Miguel Mariaga last night. This is how I base my pound for pound list, based on what fighters have done up until this point. Now, we do have fights that still have to take place. Gennady Golovkin takes on Saul Canelo Alvarez on September 16th. And before that, we have another big fight with Terence Crawford taking on Julius Ndongo on August the 19th, live on ESPN. So we got big fights coming. Big fights are coming. But for right now, my top 10 pound for pound list, I'm really looking forward to this list, right? Because it was names that I was battling with all day today. Should I put this fighter here? Should I put this fighter here? Should this person be number 8, number 9? And when you get to where you start from the bottom, from the top 10, from 10 to 1, when you hit around that number 7, number 6, number 5, number 4, that number 8 and 9 are positions to where you're climbing in the top 10, right? That 10, 9, 8 is where you're climbing, to me, in the top 10. Now, when you hit around that 7, 6, 5, around there, 4, maybe, it gets very difficult trying to decide who will you have chasing that number 1 spot, right? So for me, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this list. I'm really looking forward to what it is that the people have to say about this list. Not only mine, but I want you to share yours. Jump in the comments. Give me your number 1 pound for pound fighter right now today. And also give me your top 10. If you can give me your top 10 list in the comments, please. I'm really looking forward to what everybody have right now in their top 10 pound for pound fighters. If you are paying attention to the show right now, I would like you to like and share the show. It helps with the visibility of the show. And we're going to move from there. So we're going to start with number 10. Number 10 to me is a fighter who I feel as though how I base this list is up and coming, right? Starting with number 10, up and coming. You're not so much falling out of the list of the top 10, but you're making a name and a statement for yourself and climbing into the top 10. And with the first fighter who I'm going to pick at number 10 is Jermall Charlo. I'm picking Jermall Charlo only because, to me, Jermall Charlo, what he is doing right now, he has the opportunity to do something that's probably going to put him in a position to where he could actually climb up to be in the top 3. Really. He can really climb to be up in the top 3. And the reason why I say that is because he has some very good noticeable wins. Austin Trout, Julian J. Rod Williams, Sebastian Heelan, Cornelius Bundrich, where he won the IBF title. And Jermall Charlo, to me, is a really good fighter. He's a really good fighter. And I just believe this guy has the potential to put himself as the top 3 pound for pound fighter once he gets that fight with Gennady Golovkin or Saul Canelo Alvarez, because he is the mandatory for the WBC at 160 pounds. So he has the opportunity to jump ship over everybody and climb his way into the top 3. He has that riding on him right now. And I love the fact that Jermall Charlo is big time. He's big time. The dynamite in both hands. He's a great boxer, has fire with his jab. He's an absolute stud in the boxing ring. Now, when we talk about number 9, moving to number 9, this guy just fought on last night, and he won in a beautiful performance, and that's Vasyl Lomachenko. I'm putting Lomachenko at number 9 because, to me, I feel as though Lomachenko is doing more as he continues to add more fights to his resume. Lomachenko will continue to climb in my list, but I need big names on that list for Lomachenko. A lot of people have Lomachenko right now ranked in their top 3, top 2, top 1, number 1 overall pound for pound. Do I believe Lomachenko is number 1 pound for pound? Absolutely not. And I told you all on last night, it's more that I need to see from Lomachenko. There's more. And the reason why I say that is why I need to see more for Lomachenko is because, like I said, he hasn't had as many fights to put him anywhere near the top 5 to me. I need more noticeable big names. You fought Gary Russell Jr. You defeated him. And after you defeated Gary Russell Jr., you defeated Miguel Mariaga on last night. And you defeated Nicholas Walters off of a layoff. Nicholas Walters was on a layoff and came back and fought Lomachenko. I don't know what could have been the difference in that fight if Nicholas Walters wasn't rusty, but who knows? As of right now, Vasyl Lomachenko is number 9 on my list. Now, a fighter that is climbing up and jumped into my top 10 put on a beautiful performance as well about a week ago. And that guy is Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia, to me, is making noise in the sport of boxing. And Mikey has the opportunity to perhaps maybe climb in the top 5. We saw him pull up on Lomachenko during Lomachenko's press conference, and he asked for that fight. So we know Mikey is willing to fight Lomachenko, and Mikey may be willing to move up to 147 and take on big names at 147. Do I believe it's going to happen? I'm not sure, but I think Mikey is trying to handle business with either Lomachenko or perhaps maybe a big time fight with a guy like Terrence Crawford. Who knows? But what I do know is that Mikey Garcia is making a statement in the sport of boxing. That's one thing that Mikey Garcia is doing. And we saw that within his fight with Adrian Broner. And the guy who's number 9 really not feeling Mikey Garcia as well, because he said that he's a boring fighter. But do I believe Mikey Garcia is a boring fighter? Absolutely not. I believe Mikey can do things that can probably, I would say, I don't want to say destroy what's going on, but I would say he could perhaps knock off some fighters who may believe they could become world champions if he was to move up to 147 pounds. But, it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen with Mikey Garcia, but I do have Mikey ranked number 8 in my top 10 pound for pound. Now, moving on, this guy, to me, this is where I was like, I don't know if he should be at 7 or should I have him higher, or maybe he should be at 8. Like, I don't know. I'm very unsure when it comes to that, because you also had another guy in Miguel Beltran who you could have possibly put them hand in hand. Now, the more electric fighter is Errol Spence. The more known fighter is Errol Spence. But Miguel Beltran is no slouch. And so I was dealing between the two with these two guys, but I put Errol Spence right there at number 7 for me. 22-0, defeated Kell Brook in stunning fashion, was able to get the knockout, get him out of there. Errol Spence is number 7 on my pound for pound list. And Errol Spence, he's going to continue to grow, and he's calling out big time names in the division with Keith Thurman, either Sean Porter, whoever you put this guy up against, he's going to wreak havoc and make some noise because he's that good. And he's looking to unify. Whoever has a title, Errol Spence is ready to unify. He's looking for you. And that's what you have to like in a guy who's world champion, who is not afraid to take on other names in the sport of boxing. Now at number 6, this guy has been in the public for other news, but he's my number 6, and that's Anthony Joshua. AJ, number 6. And AJ, to me, after his defeat of Klitschko, that definitely put Anthony Joshua up there in my top 10. I believe he is going to take over the heavyweight division. Now, we do have great fights at the heavyweight division right now, and we're looking forward to seeing who Deontay Wilder is going to fight. That's another name. I'm sorry. That's another name that's not in the top 10 maybe. But he's looking for a big fight. They saying it could be Dylan White versus AJ again, or we don't know. Is it going to be Pulev? Luis Ortiz Maybe. We don't know who Deontay Wilder is going to fight. But we do know as of right now, Anthony Joshua seems to be the king of the heavyweight division right now. And he has the youth behind him, the power, the height, the boxing skill to be the unified world champion in the heavyweight division. He has that. And so Anthony Joshua, to me, is coming up in the rankings in my top 10. Now, when we're moving right along, this right here is my boy, Keith One-Time Thurman. Keith One-Time Thurman is number 5 on my pound for pound list, given the fact that Keith took on Danny Garcia and won the WBC. He took on the likes of Sean Porter, defeated him. He defeated Robert Guerrero. And he's only going to get better, right? We're looking for him to maybe next year have a big fight with Errol Spence. If Errol Spence and Keith Thurman was to go at it, who would be the winner of that fight? Who would be the winner of that fight? Who will you choose in that fight alone? Because the winner of that fight will already have 3 titles in the division, right? They'll have 3 titles in the division. And on top of that, they will be possibly the number 1 welterweight. More than likely, they'll be the number 1 welterweight. But Keith One-Time Thurman is number 5 on my list. And number 4 is a guy whom many deem as number 1. BoxRec still have him number 1. You have a lot of other sanctioning bodies who still may have him as number 1 on their pound for pound list. But this guy is Saul Canelo Alvarez. Saul Canelo Alvarez is number 4 on my list. He is inside of the top 5. And he's number 4 only because when it comes to Canelo, to me, every big fight Canelo has had has been at a catchweight. Canelo has never defeated anybody at a true weight. Think about it. When he fought Amir Khan, it was at a catchweight. When he fought Mayweather, even though he lost to Mayweather, it was at a catchweight. When he fought, who else? Julio Cesar Chavez was at a catchweight. Everybody who Canelo has fought and defeated that's been a big name has been at a catchweight. That's just being real. That's being real. You can't name any other fighters who Saul Canelo Alvarez has faced and it's been at his normal weight. You can't. But if you ask me, I believe he is number 4 pound for pound. He defeated Liam Smith. I mean, he's getting ready to fight perhaps, arguably, his toughest opponent as of yet in Gennady Golovkin. So, Saul Canelo Alvarez is ranked number 4 on my pound for pound list. Moving right along to number 3. This guy is about to have the biggest fight of his career. He's about to make history. And that's Terrence T-Bud Crawford. And Terrence Crawford, if you don't have him, he has himself, I believe, he said last night that he believes he's number 3 pound for pound. Or was it number 2? I'm not sure. If anybody can remember what it is that he deemed himself in a pound for pound, please drop it in the comments. But he did not say he was number 1. But he did say he may be number 2 or number 3. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But he is number 3 on my pound for pound list. And he's getting ready to fight Julius Ndungu. And when he fight Julius Ndungu, that will be for all the titles at 140. The WBA, the IBF, the WBC, the WBO will all be on the line August the 19th for Terrence Crawford and Julius Ndungu. And I believe Terrence Crawford has the ability to become number 1 pound for pound or number 2 if he's able to move up to 147 and win a title at 147. You have no choice but to put him at perhaps number 2 pound for pound or maybe number 1. You just never know. It depends on who it is he fights in the welterweight division and what titles they may have during that time. But I believe Terrence Crawford right now is number 3 pound for pound and perhaps arguably the best fighter in the world. It's Terrence T. Bud Crawford. Now moving right along, at number 2, Gennady Golovkin. Triple G. Triple G to me is number 2 pound for pound. Some people have him number 1. Some people have him lower than that because of his showing against Jacobs. But if you ask me, this guy has done every single thing possible. Every single thing possible in order to be in a position of where he is right now in the sport of boxing. And that is number 2 for me, pound for pound. That win against Jacobs was very sketchy. It could have went either way, but that was perhaps his toughest fight as of yet, preparing him for a matchup with Saul Canelo Alvarez. But he defeated Kell Brook, who was the smaller guy. He defeated Dominic Wade, Curtis Stevens, Gabriel Rosado. He has names on his list who he has defeated. But Gennady Golovkin, to me, is number 2 pound for pound. You can't take that away from him. This man holds the IBO, WBA, WBC, IBF championships of the world. All the belts. Except for the WBO. He doesn't hold the WBO. But he was going to fight for the WBO. But when he got the opportunity to take on Canelo for the big money fight, he didn't hesitate. He don't even care about the WBO. This right here is about his legacy. And defeating Canelo will do nothing but build his legacy tremendously. And Gennady Golovkin is, to me, perhaps, arguably, the top 2 fighter in the world. Now, everybody should already know who is number 1. I mean, this guy, there's nothing more that I could say about Andre SOG Ward that has not been said already. Andre Ward is number 1 pound for pound, the best fighter in the world right now is Andre Ward. It doesn't matter how he defeated Sergey Kovalev. It doesn't matter what happened in the first fight. It doesn't matter what happened in the second fight. The fact remains is that Andre Ward defeated perhaps the most dangerous man in the sport of boxing, and Sergey Crusher Kovalev, who was running through everybody Kovalev was running through everybody with knockouts. It wasn't like he was going the distance and having good fights with these fighters. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sergey Kovalev was destroying everybody in his path. Everybody. But the fact that Andre Ward, SOG Ward, defeated him the first time after being knocked down and was able to come back and win that fight. And in the second fight, just total domination of Sergey Kovalev and won that fight by TKO. Andre Ward, to me, is number one overall, pound for pound, the best fighter in the world. We don't even have to talk about the fact that this man hasn't lost a fight since he was in what? Middle school? 12 years old? Something like that. This man knows nothing but how to win. And to me, Andre Ward is the face of boxing. He's the face. After Mayweather, the other name who you can call is Andre Ward. He's very humble and gracious in winning. And you can't help but love the fact that Andre Ward, SOG Ward, is number one overall pound for pound. I mean, this guy has the Ring magazine. He has not lost at all. He has the WBA, the IBF, the WBO, every title. Right now, you have Adonis Stevens calling out Andre Ward. But you got Sullivan Barrera, who Andre Ward defeated already, who just now won a title, calling out Adonis Stevens. So I don't know what Andre Ward is going to decide. Is he going to come back? Is he going to take more time off? Is he going to retire? I don't know what Ward is going to do. But as of right now, Andre Ward is number one pound for pound, the best fighter in the world. That's me. That's my take. That is my top 10. That is my top 10. I could go over it with you guys again. Starting from number 10, Jermall Charlo, Vasyl Lomachenko at number 9, Mikey Garcia at number 8, Errol Spence Jr. at number 7, Anthony Joshua at number 6, Keith One-Time Thurman at number 5, Saul Canelo Alvarez at number 4, Terrence T-Bud Crawford at number 3, Gennady Golovkin at number 2, and number 1 overall pound for pound, Andre SOG Ward. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for tuning in for my pound for pound fighter right now today. This is just right now today. We're going to do this again. We're going to visit this again at the end of the year and do another pound for pound list after everything is said and done at the end of the year. Depending on what fight is made by the end of December, we will come back and revisit this list again. But as of right now, it stands at Andre Ward being number 1 overall pound for pound. In my book, the best to ever do it. Now, this is Jeremy Sports Network. Follow us on YouTube at Jeremy Sports Network. And also follow us on Twitter at Jeremy_sports. Please like and share the show. It helps with the visibility of the show. And we're only going to get better and keep Nothing but good boxing news coming to you guys. This is Jeremy Sports Network. I'm signing out. You guys have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you later. I'm out. Peace.